In this video, I'm going to show you the lighting breakdown of the recent photo shoot I did. I absolutely love how the photo shoot turned out. And if you want to learn how to achieve the same results, stick around because I'm not only going to show you the light breakdown, I'm going to show you the light build up on how I got the shot. Let's jump right into it. So let's start with this first photo right here. Okay, and I'm going to show you how I got this shot later in this video. First, let me give you a backstory. Before I actually shot this image, I went to the studio before and I did the test shots. So these are some of the test shots I did before I actually did the actual photo shoot. So quick pro tip, if you have a project that you want to do or a shoot that you want to do, if it's possible for you to go and practice first before the actual day of the shoot, it's going to go a long way, because that is exactly what I did for this shoot right here. So for this first image, I used 3 light setup. So this is the light setup. So you can screenshot it if you want to screenshot it, and I'm going to break it down in a bit. Also, for my camera settings, I use the same camera settings throughout the whole image. So the same camera settings I used to shoot this image is the same camera settings I used to shoot this image right here. So for my ISO, I use ISO 100. For my shutter speed, I use 1/250th of a second. And for my aperture, I use 1.8 and I used an 85mm lens. So my camera settings did not change. I used same camera settings throughout these sessions. The only thing I did, I just tried to adjust the power of my light accordingly. All right, now let's break down this first light setup. If I come to Photoshop, you can see we have 3 lights right here. Let me just put this image side by side so you can understand better. Now let's break down the light setup. Now you can see I have 3 lights right here. I have my main light, which is this 8600 BM, and I attached a snoot with a vertical shape inside the snoot on it, which is my key light. Okay. Also, I have this speed light right here, and I attached a blue gel on it, which is my background light. Okay, background light. And also, I have another 8600 BM right here, which I attached a red gel on it, which is my side light. All right, my side lights. So these are the 3 lights I used. Now the key light is coming from this direction, as you can see. I'm just adding that shine to the face just to illuminate the face. So if my subject is here, don't mind my drawing. If my subject is here, the key light is just illuminating only the face of my subject, as you can see right here, only the face. Why? For my background light, this background light right here, which is the blue gel, is just making the background blue, which you can see right here is the blue color you can see on the background right here, which is my background light on this speed light right here. It's just illuminating the background. All right. Why this other light right here is my side light. So this side light right here is just adding a rim light to the side of my subject, which if you come to this image right here, you can see those red lights around the subject. So that happens because of this side light I have right here. So it's just adding those shape on my subject. So this is the first light setup I use, a 3 light setup. Now, I cannot tell you the power to use for your light. You can just play with the power. You can try it from the highest or try it from the lowest and see what works for you. So this same light setup is what I use to shoot this image right here. A same light setup I used to shoot this image right here. Now, if you're wondering why I actually used a snoot, the reason is I want my light to be focused on only the face of the subject. I don't want the light to spill on anywhere. I just want to focus the light on only the face of my subject. That's the reason I use a snoot. And another reason why I just focus on the face, just to illuminate the face, is because I also want my scene to be dark. So you can see the scene is dark. That is because I was planning to use a fog machine. That is why I also gel this background light and the side light, so that if I add that smoke effect, it's going to make the smoke pop. Because if the light is just bright, you cannot actually see the smoke. So that's how I got this shot right here. Now you can see the smoke on the background. So it's taking the red color and it's more visible. So that is why I actually gelled it. So this is the feel I was actually going for. And this is how I achieve it with the 3 light setup. Now, let's break down this other light setup right here. Now, like I explained earlier, because of the fog, That is why I wanted my scene to be dark. Now, if you look at this image, if I just put them side by side, you can see this one does not have fog. You cannot actually see the ray of the light where the light is coming from. But with this other one that has fog, you can actually see the rays of the light. So let me break down this light setup for you. Let me just open this image inside of Photoshop. Now for this other light setup, the lights are similar, all right? Now the only difference is, if you notice, you can see the light is coming from this direction. And also, I changed the shape of the snoot. So instead of using a vertical shape, I now use a circle shape to give it like a spotlight feel. That is why the shape is like this. And you can see, if I just come to capture one again, this one right here, you can see the circle shape on the floor. That is because I changed the snoot to a circular shape. Now it's a similar light setup. I did not move my background light, so my background light is still hitting the background, which is why we're still having those blues on the background. The only difference is I brought my red light, my red gel light, so I brought it down a little bit because the subject is now sitting on the floor. So I just brought it down a little bit. And also, my snoot, like I said earlier, I changed the shape and I moved it to this direction. All right, so it's coming from this direction right now. So it's hitting out from this direction. Instead of this direction, is now hitting that from the top, which creates that circular shape that you are seeing on the floor right here, and which creates the shape you are seeing on the face right here, which also creates this light ray, which is what I was initially going for. So that is the second light setup. So if you are going for this look, this is how you can set up your lights. And finally, let me break down the lights I use for this image and show you the build up on how I actually come up with this image right here. This is the light setup right here. So I'm not going to open this image out of Photoshop. Now for this photo right here, I also use 3 light setup. Okay, remember my camera setting is still the same, and these are just the raw file. I've not edited those images. These are the raw file. So I still have my blue gel, which is hitting the background, and I still have my snoot, which is my key light. So my key light, and this time that side light, that red gel light, I just placed it on the back, which is now my backlight. So backlight. So my key light is illuminating the face. So my backlight is what is making this fog look like flame, and I'm going to show you the build up in a bit. Why this gel light right here is what is giving that blue colors on the background. Now that you know how many lights I use, now let me show you the build up on how I actually got this image right here. So I'll come back to capture one and just show you the build up. So this is the first image I took when I was balancing my light. So this is only my backlight turned on. I was trying to balance it, which is this backlight right here that you are seeing. Okay, so that is just only the light turned on. For this other shot, I was trying to balance the blue light to make it look good. So I still don't like it like this, so I adjusted the power of the light and I got this right here. Now you can see the blue light is now spilling to the background, which is this light right here. So I like the way it's falling on the background on this image. Now I want to introduce my key light, which is where this next image comes in. Now, as you can see, I've balanced my background light for this image and a backlight for this image, but I've not turned on my key light, which is on the snoot with that vertical shape like I explained earlier. All right, so for this image right here, I turn on my key light, so all my light is set right here compared to this one right here. So this one right here on the left, my key light was not on, but my backlight and my background light is on. Why for this one right here, all the lights are turned on, including my key light. So that was my light setup, and I got this shot right here. So these shots are raw files, and I've not introduced the smoke. So this is where I started introducing the smoke. So this is the shot without the smoke, all right? And this is the shot when I introduce the smoke, as you can see. So the backlight just illuminates the smoke and just make it look like flame. That is why I use the backlights, because of the fog machine. So the key is, if you want to shoot with a fog machine, make sure you have a backlight or a color gel. That is when you can actually increase the intensity of the smoke to make the image pop or add more depth to the image. So that's what I did here, and I was able to get this shot right here. So so you can see the shot. So basically, this is the light setup. We have our key lights, which is illuminating only the face, and we have our backlights, which is illuminating those smoke that you can see on the back and just separating the subject from the background. And we have our background lights, which is just adding that blue feel to the background, as you can see. So this is the light setup I used to shoot those stunning, amazing portraits, and you can replicate it if you want. And if you're wondering what fog machine I used to shoot this image, is the Kobo fog machine, and I made a full review about this fog machine. And if you want to watch it, you can check out that review right here. I'll see you guys in my next one. Stay creative.